watching this news story, which just kind of popped up on my feed randomly, and I kind of have a little bit of a thought about this. So, people here have, I guess, rented cars from Hertz, and then they're suddenly being arrested. Something about this is really kind of ringing a bell to me about these gang stalkers. So let's get into this video and let's talk about this.
Saying a simple rental turned into their worst nightmare, and some of those incidents were caught on video.
It's a stolen vehicle.
That's Carrie Gibbs next to her Hertz pickup truck getting arrested at a California gas station in 2019 after Hertz told police she'd stolen the truck.
All of a sudden, 8 sheriffs came pulling up with their guns drawn.
Come have a seat on this bumper here.
The truck had been rented for her from Hertz by an insurance company after an accident, but police took her to jail and she was charged with felony car theft. The case was later dismissed, but Gibbs said in court papers she lost her real estate license for a year.
I've been a real estate agent for 18 years, so this is the most frustrating thing ever.
Then there's
So, I find this to be hard to believe. Now, out of all the years, now let's think of all the years, have we ever seen anything like this where people who have rented cars are just automatically being put in jail? Like, I'm sorry, but I find this very hard to believe. These people are involved in other crimes, I strongly believe, because, okay, for you to have lose your real estate license and lose all this stuff, I mean, this is insane to me. And what I really think is that now, I think these gang stalkers are possibly starting to be arrested and crimed for their crimes now. I believe they're now starting to be punished and arrested because there's something about this where that just doesn't make sense to me. How do you rent a car and then all of a sudden they're gonna arrest you? Okay, let's look at this more. Hold on.
NASA employee driving a Hertz SUV. Florida police officers held him at gunpoint. Why? Because 2 days earlier, Hertz had filed a theft report claiming the vehicle NASA had rented for him was stolen. That NASA employee was not charged and was later released. And those are just 2 of many people who have filed claims.
NASA employee, I don't know. There's something really odd about this.
Never in my life would I imagine that it would be in a situation like this.
Florida banker Manuel Garcia watched.
Banker, NASA. I think they're kind of maybe starting to go after these big dogs. I mean, banker and NASA. That means you have a lot of money. You have a lot of money. So the cops aren't just going to come and just arrest you and say you stole a car. Hold on.
As his Hertz rental car was towed away while he was at a restaurant after Hertz reported it stolen, even though he says he'd been leasing the car for months.
And I was astonished and I said, how can that be?
I'm still in shock.
He looks like one of the people that I see that gang stalk me. I see a lot of people wearing those black rimmed glasses, so it's just like something here with this story. This is weird.
Don't understand how this even happened.
Carmen Bosco told us she rented a car from a Florida Hertz location in January and returned it in April. But in August, officers in Georgia arrested her for car theft. She spent 40 days in jail, separated from her 3 children, including her 2-month-old baby.
I had to explain.
So I'm thinking maybe for them to come months later and arrest her, it really just does not make sense. There has to be a reason. For cops to go and arrest somebody, there has to be a reason. The cops must have found out that this car was being used in a gang stalking crime or something, or some kind of gang stalking for this to be going on. Because I'm sorry, I'm just not really buying this whole news story of, we're just arrested just out of nowhere for just basically renting a car. A lot of these motherfucking gang stalkers drive in all of these rental cars. They always have a rental car or a stolen car. Every time.
To my kids while I was gone for 40 days. And I missed time with my youngest that I'll never get back.
And Stephen Robinson says he never even rented a car from Hertz. But in June, police arrested him for car theft. He spent 2 days in jail and is now being prosecuted on felony charges.
I mean, this was the worst experience ever in my life, and I can't believe it hurts. And it was a good slogan I heard, but Hertz really hurts people. Their negligent practices is like, it's terrible.
I mean, I've already not been able to sleep at night over this.
Then there's Regina Mito, who says she rented.
They look like the typical gang stalkers. Every one of these people looks like the same fucking people that gang stalk me. Every one of these people, and if you just saw that black guy, he just had like a whole, like, what, drapes of curtains behind him and some, like, sculpture or what the fuck? Like, come on.
A Hertz car for 3 days in May to attend a wedding in Houston with her husband, returning it on time. But last week, Hertz sent her this email saying they've now reported the car stolen, meaning she could face charges.
I have a husband, I have kids. It's terrible. Sorry. I don't. My doorbell rings, and I'm fearful that it's the cops coming to get me.
Hertz would not.
Yeah, the cops are coming to get you all for gang stalking fucking crimes. Y'all been renting these motherfucking cars for whatever reason. Y'all been using Hertz. Don't cry now. Don't cry now. Don't cry. Don't cry now for what you decided to do and what is now coming back to you. Don't sit there and cry. Why are you going to sit there and cry now? Oh, after the fact, and oh, the cops are coming to get me. If this really wasn't a legitimate, if this really was something where people can see that, okay, this person has rented this car, they brought the car back, but no, the cops are coming after you all for another fucking reason, but the news, that they ain't telling you here on the news story. They're coming after you for another reason because there's no other reason that, let's see, y'all are getting arrested and all this stuff. There's a reason why the cops are coming after y'all. Okay, let's go get more into this.
Story. But as previously said, the vast majority of cases involve renters who were many weeks or even months overdue returning vehicles and who stopped communicating with Hertz well beyond the scheduled due date. Not according to attorney Francis Alexander Malafy, who says since our first story aired, more people have been coming forward.
People think that they're an isolated incident, and they don't realize that this is a systemic issue that's happening across the nation.
Hertz disputes that, saying situations where vehicles are reported to the authorities are very rare. But this South Carolina attorney says,
it's all over the 50 United States. These aren't isolated incidents.
Fritz Jekyll filed a similar case in 2019, and at the time asked Hertz whether there were any other lawsuits for false arrests and similar claims. He got back a database containing over 300 claims, going all the way back to 2008 up to 2016.
I was astounded by the number in just 8 years.
We can't see that database or show it here. Hertz has marked it confidential. In other words, secret.
But you're
okay, so Hertz has been working along with gang stalkers. Okay, that tells you right there, confidential. Hertz has been working along with this fucking gang stalking fucking ring. And now what Hertz has to do is Hertz has got to get the people that have done this, that have rented these cars and that have done this, now they're getting busted. And that shit's hitting the fan now. The cards are starting to fall. Everything's starting to break down. And now, Hertz now has to cover. Hertz now is gonna, the people that have done this gang stalking, they're basically gonna all be going to jail, whatever. And Hertz is gonna, they're gonna work to cover their ass. But yeah, these gang stalkers in these fucking rental cars and stolen fucking cars. I'm telling you.
He's saying that there's a pattern of this problem, and yet the public wouldn't know about that.
Not until you're arrested.
Hertz did not answer our questions about that database. The company has previously said it cares deeply about its customers and successfully rents tens of millions of rental vehicles to customers each year. Nate.
Anna, thank you.
It doesn't really matter how many vehicles you rent a year if there are cases. One case is too many if somebody is either in fear of being arrested or have to go to jail.
The key phrases in the HERTZ statement are the vast majority of these cases, so in other words, some of them legitimate in their eyes, and very rare. Well, when you're doing tens of millions of rentals and billions of dollars in revenue, very rare is still a large number of people, and that's some of them that Anna has been able to find along with her team. That's an astounding story. How can this be happening?
Yeah. I just think I want to know HERTZ's definition of isolated incidents, number one. And number two, you rent a car, it would be terrifying. You get out of the car thinking that you're fine and you just see police guns pointed at you. Even when you're trying to explain, I didn't do anything. It's a very terrible.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I think we're soon gonna, uncover something here eventually. Maybe eventually us targeted individuals, I kind of see some hope for us maybe getting justice here. I can see soon that something's going to come out with HERTZ and these rental cars and these fucking gang stalkers using these rental cars and stolen cars. Because it looks to me like HERTZ must be a big company that these gang stalkers are using for these rental cars. And it looks to me like whatever crime they're doing, because to draw a gun... To point a gun on somebody, that takes a lot for a cop to point a gun on somebody. These people are involved in some kind of organized fucking crime, and they have been using HERTZ rental cars. That's all I'm going to say. That's what I see with this story. I see these people crying. I don't see any real reason why would you just get arrested renting a car? I've never heard of anything like this in my life. I've never heard of anything like this in my life at all. And for that to, you have to really do something to have, I think it's something else. I think that they have to probably say that they stole the car or, report it as stolen or whatever. If they realize maybe that the person's involved in gang stalking or whatever they have to do, that something's about to fall. It looks like something's about to get exposed here about these gang stalkers and these rental cars. That's all that I see here. But let me know what you guys think. I would love to know. And I hope you guys all have a good day.